What was that? What? What's that sound? Where? It's aliens and they're living in your town. Damn. They have arrived. What? They're all around. So many aliens living in your town.
What up, weirdos out there in Weirdo Land? It is Jbird and Sweet Dennys. You don't have the whole team of the Weird and Whatever podcast, but you got half of us. Dennys, how the hell are you?
Doing well. How about you over there?
Doing good. We're running a little late today. I had a bit of a windfall of some free Kaluja trees.
You can't pass up an offer like that.
Dog, or my dogs, or my weirdos. I priced trees not too long ago. Holy crud balls. Man, trees are so expensive. And then if you don't want to plant them yourself, I feel like the labor always doubles the product. So if you buy something and someone has to install it for you,
oh my gosh,
you're buying, let's say something's $1,000, the labor's going to be $1,000 as well.
Easy. Yeah, you got to take advantage of that because anything outside, anything you do outside of your house is so expensive.
I have an interesting relationship with trees. I love me some trees, and the older I've gotten, I almost have a reverence for them. They really, to me, it kind of symbolizes patience. You can't plant something and expect it to grow right away. And us living in such an on-demand type or time and culture, patience is a lost art. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. Patience is tough for the modern brain, I feel.
Oh, yeah. Well, everything that we are exposed to on a daily basis doesn't reinforce patience. If anything, it almost makes patience seem, hey, get this fast, get strong quick, get tall fast.
I know you practice some of the Eastern techniques when it comes to meditation, stuff like that, ankle health as well.
Ankle and wrist health.
Will you practice meditation with your son Lachlan? Is that something you're going to introduce to him or no?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to introduce early. Man, kids just have so much energy, and they're very tough to get to sit and focus.
I think he's too young for patience right now, but I'm saying maybe in them, like 7 years old,
yeah.
they kind of start to become a little mini human.
I agree.
Just because I think I struggle with patience. So I think if you have a kid, you want to make sure they don't go through the struggles you went through. So I'm sure there's something in your life that you would not want Lachlan to go through because you went through it and said, hey, kid, I got a better way. Don't go down this road.
Well, absolutely. And I feel like it's weird. No matter how much advice you give your kid, just like your parents give you advice, it's almost so hard to follow as a young person. Even though I think everyone goes through kind of the same phases, and they're warning you about those phases, just as a kid, you can't even comprehend that yet. So it's weird. You almost have to have your own mistakes. The reason you want to introduce it early is so that when they have that mistake, they can recognize it and then realize that there is a way of, dealing with it.
Well, I think that's just that's human beings right there. You don't know until it happens to you.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's pretty much everyone. It's so funny. You'll be complaining about something, not you, but anyone. If you're at work and you're like, man, I wish our boss didn't give us, so much, work to do after 6 or whatever, just something arbitrary. And they're like, yeah, whatever, dude, it's cool, everything's good. And then when the boss gives them that same task and they're bitching about it, you go, bro, I was just talking about this a week ago.
I know. And again, until it happens to you.
It's just so funny. Humans can't comprehend it until we're actually experiencing it.
It's funny, too, to hear people. I think everyone bitches about their job or their gig at some point in their life. And it's just so funny how universal everyone's bitching and complaints are usually the same thing. No matter what profession you're in, it's the same 5 things that people always get mad about.
It really is. No matter the environment, the work environment, you could always take solace in the fact that other work environments have the exact same issues, the same politics going on behind the scenes, the boss, the person that gets promoted that doesn't do the work. It's all exactly the same no matter the job.
There's always some shit talking. Someone rubs somebody the wrong way. Someone's not pulling their weight. There's always that one.
There's tropes that are just unshakable in the workforce.
You ever, going back to trees, I know I'm jumping around here a bit, but I did want to talk about, remember the movie Poltergeist? I mean, how well do you remember that movie?
Well enough to know that tree reaches in the window.
Dude, that movie was so scary, and I bring that up a lot because I think the rating was wrong on that. I want to say that was a PG movie. Man, in the Poltergeist, a tree tries to eat a kid. That will absolutely mess with a kid's mind when it comes to the relationship with trees.
And isn't there's a clown doll on the chair, right?
It makes you scared of clowns too, because the clown floats in the air. It starts to laugh. But I was wondering too, when did clowns start becoming so horrifying? Because in the 30s and 40s, they were beloved. It seemed like
They were. I think it must have been, and I don't know, but think about the 80s when you're watching older programming. For some reason, the black and white. If you watch the old, was it Bozo the Clown? It looks so creepy that it's black and white. Is that the Bozo one?
Yeah, I
black
think
and white?
so.
Oh, it's so creepy looking. I think maybe people were afraid of clowns before that, but that definitely, we're seeing it in hindsight. At the time, it was probably amazing when they had the clown on TV, but now we're just seeing it after the morning cartoons. It comes off very creepy.
Okay, chat room, I want to welcome you all. We are now, Dennys, look at this. We are 21 strong right now.
Nice. It was kind of not a typical schedule today.
Yeah, we apologize for the inconsistency. It is tough to get the whole gang together every Thursday night, so we're trying to figure all that out.
And I think Vickie she's out there watching Evanescence.
Vickie's at an Evanescence concert.
That's pretty
rocking it.
That's pretty cool.
Beckett is just, washing that beautiful mane, that beautiful hair.
He's probably doing something like smoking a cigar outside on a pagoda.
Yes, we will. We're trying to stay as consistent as we can. So sometimes it just may be me and Big D over here. Sometimes we have the whole gang. But we want to thank you all for tuning in with us on a lovely Thursday night. Let's timestamp this day in case the aliens do come and it ends up in a vault somewhere. June 11th, 7:06 p.m. Timestamp it.
Nice.
A lot of talk about aliens still, Dennys, to the point where they're kind of giving us blue balls. You've got military coming out. You got that David Grush, who
which isn't the same as David Rush.
No.
Who breaks the world records.
There's a lot of David Ushes out there that are doing some great stuff. But yeah, it's getting to a point where if there's not new developments to talk about, the audience tends to get annoyed.
Which is funny because they're turning it, like probably the biggest news in history if this does come out, they're making people already expecting it to be like a TV show. Like it's not exciting enough with...
Well, that's just it. With the news, you get this big headline, and you're like, oh shit, aliens are attacking, or they're here.
Or they'll say plasmids have been confirmed, and then you get no elaboration on that.
Yeah, stop jerking us around here with this alien talk. Do we know or do we not know? Chat room, what do you think? Does the government know we have aliens or we've seen aliens? Do they have knowledge? And do you think aliens are here? Have they been here? What are your thoughts? Let's get some talk in the chat room. I want to see what everyone's thinking about this stuff. I tend to have alien blinders on and thinking everyone's down with everyone's believing this.
It's in the news more than it's ever been. For a long time, it was never even spoken of. In fact, if you talked about it on a TV, radio, movie, and stuff, people usually labeled it as maybe like kind of kooky, right?
Oh yeah.
So now it's on every news network. It's all you see on social media.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat room right now, and the first 3 or 4 answers is they've been here. 100% they know. Pre Malone in the chat room says, if they weren't here, then why be so secretive? They do a terrible job of not trying to look like they just had their hand in the cookie jar. They really are breeding some mass confusion here. Now, here's the question. Are they doing that on purpose to blur the lines, or are they just mishandling this entire situation? And I'm talking about just the government for a long time, not just with this presidency. I'm talking about the entire time they've known about aliens. Have they fucked it up so bad where they just go, I don't know, just say they are real, say they're not real, blur the lines?
There's 2 schools of thought. You could think that they were trying to keep it hidden for a very long time, right? And then some of it got out, and then some of it started getting popularized on the internet. And then to distract from that, they're releasing fake stuff to throw off the scent. That's one, to make it seem like so nobody really does know what's going on. Otherwise, yeah, maybe they're just mishandling how they present it to the public.
It's just funny now because you're starting to see stuff show up on the internet that I've never seen. You know me, I have an alien boner and a UFO boner for everything. I'm always searching for videos. There's new ones coming out from 2007. People are uploading, and they look to be real. They don't look to be AI. They look like they're older videos that might have been taken down. There was this one dude on YouTube who had so many UFO videos. He lived, I think, out in Colorado somewhere. And he would always upload these weird things in the sky, and then he went completely silent, and you can't find any of his videos anywhere. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's crazy. So when I lived out in Colorado, there's a place called the Garden of the Gods, and it's a weird rock formations and such, and you can go hiking up to the top of them, and everyone goes there and looks for UFOs because you're so high above the city line. It's so dark. It almost looks like just infinite blackness when you look up there. So the one thing I will say about South Florida compared to Colorado is just the light pollution here. Not that there's not light pollution over there, especially about the cities. But Florida, I could barely even see stars outside. The moon's almost faint.
When I went out to Oregon, it's almost it freaks you out because if you're used to always not seeing the stars, and I thought I had a nice little view in my backyard.
You can see some here for sure.
You can see some shit, but when you go out into nature, God's country, holy crud balls.
You go, holy crap, there's a million stars.
You feel quite small, Dennys.
Well, so those are, given things have probably shifted and moved and died and whatever, stars and celestial bodies. But those are the same ones, if you go back to Rome or the Sumerians, they're all looking at the same stars, and there was no light pollution back then. I bet you it was even more vivid.
Oh, imagine olden times, not knowing what the shit is going on. The moon would freak you out. I see why people were losing their minds without any information. And
they're guessing.
A hurricane comes through, you got to think. At that point, let's say it's old-timey, you masturbated 3 times and then a hurricane comes. You go, oh my gosh, I just masturbated into sin. The gods are punishing me with this hurricane.
Or if like a blood moon came, just a regular blood moon, we have and it's low and it's big, and then it also is a hurricane. They're going to think, you can see why they thought those things were gods. They applied godlike personalities and abilities to the Roman gods are named after the planets and stuff. I think they thought of those as those entities as the gods.
We are still 23 deep listening. We've got a crowd. Thank you, weirdos, for joining us on this lovely I almost said Sunday. Lovely Thursday.
I'm super hyped for the weekend.
Gosh, I'm so fucking hyped, dog.
Oh, it's so nice. Thursday's probably my favorite day because you only got one day left.
I'll always have a little bit of a soft spot in my heart for a Thursday because my mom loved Thursdays. And she'd always say this. So don't worry about school tomorrow. You'll be fine. It's almost Friday. That always stuck in my head. I'm like, yeah, it's almost Friday.
Well, you're at Thursday, right? You stay up a little bit late. You're a little bit tired. It doesn't matter because Friday when you get off, you're off. If you have a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, or like a school schedule. But yeah, I Thursday's the best day. The toughest day, it's tough, man. Maybe like a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Dude, I hate a Tuesday.
Wednesday's not so bad. I think Tuesday's probably the toughest day.
Tuesday's shit. I'll tell you why Monday's not the worst, because you're getting your footing and you're kind of distracted by getting your footing. Mm-hmm. Tuesday is still long enough for the weekend. You're like, shit, I got my footing.
You got your footing now.
Shit, I'm working.
I have 4 days. But yeah, Thursdays, I always just have a little bit of a pep in the step on a Thursday. Plus, I'm done with jokes. I don't got to think about those for a week. It's huge.
Yeah, it is huge. We have a birthday in the house. It's not that serious. 69 in the chat room. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Today is the 11th.
And speaking of fun days, let's go ahead and celebrate. What national holidays we got? We got National Cotton Candy Day. Cotton candy sucks.
And if you in any humid climate, it slowly shrinks and gets denser, and it drips onto your hand.
Toothache in a jar or a cup.
That's for kids.
Cotton candy sucks, man.
It's for kids. That's it.
It does. Anything you can put in your mouth that's solid and then it turns to liquid like that.
Oh,
I don't know, dog.
Well, and also when you touch it, it makes that noise. It gives me the duck flesh.
They had cotton candy soda. Gag me with a spoon.
Ugh. I don't like cotton candy. They make cotton candy flavored ice cream. It's disgusting.
It's for the kids. It's for the kids.
There's a couple things that are just for kids.
But anything that's bright in the ice cream area. Blue with some
You're right. It's always blue.
Candy in it.
gummy bears or something.
Oh,
in it.
gum ice cream? What is that shit?
I hate that because you kind of get the gum sometimes early, and then now you're committed to chewing the gum while eating ice cream. That's how you bite your tongue.
It's a bully ingredient. It's a bully thing. When it kind of like when you get those chips that's got the long little mini French breadstick. It's got the brown toast and then the bullshit pretzel.
Ugh.
Why are we doing the pretzel?
So
Why?
that hard piece in the Chex Mix or whatever, just the other day I bit it and it turned sideways and it went like up in my gum. It was so painful.
I had a Dorito injury not too long ago. Beside when I choked and you saved my life for the third time. You're very good at saving people's lives.
The Heimlich.
I just think I choke a lot.
I think that one was a slap, I think.
On the air and just with food.
Yeah, I choke on water a lot, which is weird.
Yes, I drink water as if I am a hostage who just got... Yeah, I don't know why. I grab it with two hands. I don't like water either. Water and pretzels. Ugh.
I like water. Pretzels, they used to be colored with urine. They used animal urine to color it. They used it. I guess that's kind of misleading. They boil it down to get just the color from it.
Yeah,
I think it might have been deer urine.
Deer urine's used a lot. I feel like
it's used in a lot of stuff. Bone char also is used in like everything.
Well, we did the vegan challenge a few years back, and we wanted to really do it for real because when we started talking about it, we got all these emails from the vegans saying, "You got to make sure there's not shrimp legs in there or a cockroach eye or whatever they were saying." And they were right, though. There's bone char and meat extract in almost everything.
Almost everything. And then they used to use that bug shell that they would crush up to make red.
Which it technically makes it not vegan. If you're a hardcore vegan, you go... I mean, hardcore vegan straight up just raw shit, I feel like. Even the Gardein stuff, I don't know. It's like almost like you are a faux vegan.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, you like that Gardein stuff?
It has to be cooked very... it has to be charred almost.
And that's good for you.
Yeah, you have to add the char to it.
I don't think you're supposed to chart to the... Because you have to chart to the point where you're like, holy shit, this thing's charred.
And I read somewhere, and this is why you can't read too much. If you want to enjoy life, you can't know too much. There is a importance to ignorance is bliss.
It is. There really is. You can learn too much. That's why they say super, super, super intelligent people... by the end, they're like, get me the fuck off this ride. I want off of Earth.
They get tired. I get it.
Oh, my gosh. In the time of TikTok. I mean, what do you think of that theory? That I think we are absolutely, a small percentage of people are becoming the smartest they've ever been as a human. But then collectively on the masses, we've taken a step back. Or is that just old man bird talking? Or is there really something to look at there?
I'd say it's probably always that ratio. Maybe the ratio fluctuates because for a long time, I'd say up until, probably 2010, information wasn't as accessible as it is now. Especially, you would have to go somewhere, you'd have to get it, you'd have to learn it, you'd have to meet somebody who knows it. Now it's all on the internet. You can do it all from your house. You can do it all while you're waiting in line at the bank. Like, you could just read. We have access to every religion that's out there. We have access to learning every book that's ever been written. You don't even have to read them. You can get audiobooks if you want. We have so much access to information.
And now get it so quickly, too.
But also with that, because when information's scarce and it's seeked, it's appreciated more. The fact that we have it all right now, it almost makes you jaded to it because you go, well, why would I have to learn that? I could just look it up when I need that information. So you don't necessarily have to retain as much as you used to. Before, it'd be cool you're at a party and you're dropping some knowledge on people because you couldn't really look that stuff up. You would have to learn that from somebody.
You're right. You could totally act like you're going to the bathroom real quick. If someone's having a conversation, in today's day, go in the bathroom, even do a phantom pee, look up some shit, and then come back to the conversation and then drop.
Oh, you guys are talking Chaucer.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, bro, you look that up.
You guys read any Thoreau?
Well, it makes you not want to ever do anything spontaneous with information because especially in a party setting, somebody's going to check you. They're going to go on the internet and be like, "That's you realize that's false, right? I have a whole article about it right here." And it's like, bitch, I was trying to make a joke. I didn't realize this was going to turn serious. You're going to fucking fact check me.
Yeah, and I hate to admit this, and I'm coming out of it, but I kind of got in a little funk because me and you we've dedicated our entire lives of really trying to learn instruments and try to get better and try to be decent, okay enough musicians, and you're way better than I am.
No, I mean,
So
don't sell yourself short.
It got to the point where I'm like, I was on a really good run, and then you just see how easy everything is becoming, and it kind of like it depressed me, and I wasn't able to pick up my guitar for a little bit. I go, what's the point? What's the point? But I got myself out of that. I think that's a dangerous way of thinking, and I'm talking about it, A, because I'm kind of embarrassed that I went through that, and B, I want other people not to go through that. I think it's still important. Don't have that mindset. The problem with me is it's always being thrown down my throat. With work, you're always hearing about AI. So for me, in my little world, in my bubble, it's a thing.
Yeah.
But I got to remember not to let that keep you down, because that's what I believe. I believe people should learn an instrument. I think it's great therapy. You're not trying to get a deal with Columbia Records. You're trying to it's a form of meditation.
Absolutely. It does a lot for you. I feel like the key is to not lose hope or sight of what you like. It's so easy to happen.
It is.
It's easy to not do things you enjoy. It's weird. Humans are just weird, man. If you get caught in a weird rut or something, you won't even do stuff that's important to you.
Here's a question in the chat room. Would the human race be racist towards aliens, or would we embrace them and learn from them?
It's going to be a 50-50.
It's going to be 50-50. I hate to say it, but
I don't know what that is.
I don't think everyone's going to jive with aliens. And yes, I think if we had a chance to treat them wrong, we would. Yeah. Some people. Now, it's a blanket statement. Not everybody, but yes, there's going to be a portion of people who will absolutely not be #be cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, I imagine a lot of people are not going to like aliens if aliens are true. I think almost maybe even 60-40, because, well, it might even be, I don't even know the numbers. I'm completely guessing, but the reason being is that if it ends up being true, it's going to rock the foundation of a lot of things for people, and they might not necessarily hate aliens, but I think that information of rocking them will be enough to make them dislike them or the concept of them.
Well, I mean, we're all guilty of it. We all do fear the unknown. Now, I think there's a spectrum of fear for some people. I mean, if you grew up in a household of fear and you never got that fixed, don't be surprised if you have a lot of fears as an adult. I mean, I think you have to rewire your brain on certain stuff. But we all are very afraid and apprehensive of things we don't understand or know.
Fear of the unknown is a very primal fear.
Well, not to always bring up Twilight Zone, but I shall. I was making honey face. My girlfriend watching an episode. She's watching Twilight Zone with me these days, and she says she likes them, but I don't know. So, some of them are pretty long and or pretty just boring.
Yeah.
But there's this one where they go to Mars. It's two guys. They crash the plane, and the one guy does not want to get out because he knows outside that door there's the unknown, and that unknown can really stop you from doing a lot of things in life.
Oh yeah.
Fear alone is the great equalizer of when it comes to not getting shit done.
And I'd say, obviously fear is there for an important reason, but in a lot of cases, at least in modern society, I feel the fear is unnecessary. Like, once you get past it, you realize that you feared it way more than it actually was. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's that one stat, I don't know how accurate it is, but they go, 90% of the things you worry about in your life never come true.
Exactly. Or even you go, I'm going to go out there, and you're so afraid to, just for arbitrary example, like you have a recital at school and you have to sing in front of all your students, all your kids that you go to school with, and the first time you're so afraid, you're like, man, they're all going to be thinking about this and this, and then you do it and it feels like 2 minutes. Like 2 minutes feels like 10 seconds. It just goes by so quick, and then it's done and you're so relieved, and it was nowhere near anywhere as awful as you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, you think that, but then I remember I was in school and a girl did not want to speak. In fact, I was in college, and it was a public speaking class, and it was a lot of people in this class. And we'd break off in groups sometimes, and she was in my group, and she'd just say, I don't want to speak, but she had to take that class.
Why the hell are they making people take public speaking?
I think you have to take it.
Alright.
I think at least when I was in college, to graduate, you had to have a speech class. It was one of those ones that you had to. Things might have changed since I graduated.
yeah.
So she was scared, and you got to know her, so you're pulling for her. And holy shit, dog!
Some people have a really tough.
She broke down, started to cry. Her lip was quivering. I mean, her poker face was horrible. You felt so bad for her. She had to stop the speech. So for some people, speaking in front of other people is a massive fear for a lot of people.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, but then I would say, hey, next time it probably won't be as bad. I go, next time, I mean, it can't get worse than what we just saw
that's
there.
one of those moments, I think, if you asked her, like, you want to try it again? She's like, shit that.
She's like, I'm going to get in a rocket ship and leave this planet.
No way.
Oh, my God.
But you feel so bad, and it was one of those situations where you see her drowning, and you wanted to just stand up and throw in the towel and go, Professor, she's had enough.
That's rough.
That is rough. Were you afraid to speak in front of people in class?
I think initially I kind of I tried to get used to it as quick as possible because I don't know if they still do it. I don't know. But you'd have to get up in class and read excerpts from books.
Oh, yeah. I hated that shit.
And it'd be sitting in line, and it'd be a row of 5 desks next to 5 desks next to 5 desks, and you're sitting there counting the people, and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna be chapter 7. I bet it.
Oh yeah, you would do math because some teachers would methodically go down each row.
Oh, and it's just you're sitting
like,
there.
Oh shit! So Cindy just read number 3. There's Devin. Okay, I'm gonna be number 8. Shit, I don't want to say that word. They're all gonna laugh at me.
And the person goes before you, and they're just so eloquent.
Yeah.
And you just go, gosh, this is gonna suck so bad.
Right out the gate, if you stumble, it turns to shit real quick. That's what happens during live commercials. Sometimes I'm in the zone and I feel like I can do a live commercial perfectly. And then there's times where if I didn't sleep well or just my concentration is not there, I'm like, oh man, this is going to be bumpy.
Oh, and sometimes we'll go into a bit, but we'll all be chatting before the bit. Like we're chatting as the song's ending.
Yes.
And then you're coming in, you're still thinking about the conversation from before. And you go into the first word and you're like, I can't find the picture.
Or there'll be like 3 seconds before we go back live on the air. And Virginia will say something. Just like, we can't say that, Virginia.
Kevin's sitting there waiting for her to finish her sentence. And then when she does finish and it's been a second, he'll press on and up.
He has to wait. It's like, oh shit, she's ranting and we're back on.
I'll see it. The commercial will be ending. There'll be a gap in the audio when I'm pulling it later.
Up to something.
Yeah, he'll leave a second and a half to just wait a second until she finishes.
Well, there's been times where we've gone back on the air and we're still talking.
Yeah, and he goes, guys, we're doing a show. She's pretty guilty of it. What was it? The other day she was just walking back at the slowest pace, and she was texting on her phone, and the dirt of the day.
It was today.
Was that today?
That was
oh my
today.
gosh, she's like in the hallway. I'm like, we're in the room. Virginia, the dirt of the day. It's your segment.
See, if I was listening, I'd turn that up because it doesn't sound normal. Because most radio shows, everyone's ready to go.
Well, I think all that's what makes it kind of endearing. That happens a lot. That almost happens once a week at least. Somebody's not in their position when we get to or Kevin will start a topic because, Kevin sends prep or whatever, and it's all kind of written out. But there's a lot of times where he'll do something from the 9 o'clock. He'll move it to the 6:30, right? And you're not ready for it. There's no heads up on it, and you hear him like, so Dennys was blah, blah, blah. And you have to get up and run into the room, and then you're trying to catch up on the conversation.
And I just found out, too, that at station number 1, the first one we were at, we still have props in that closet. We have tricycles in
Really?
there. Yes. I want to go over there and say, hey, can I have my props back?
Hey, guys, is this awkward?
We did. We left. The station number 1, we left pretty quick, and I wasn't able to get all the stuff behind. All that happened so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of just happened. It kind of snowballed and happened.
Start the car, and we left in the night.
Yeah, we got all of our shit out of there, but I didn't have enough room in my car, and I wasn't allowed to go back after.
Yeah. I'm sure they've incinerated it by now.
No, I've heard that the tricycles are still there.
Gosh.
I know.
All right. Well, we know where it is. We might as well just go.
I don't think that would be a good move. Hey, guys, can we have our shit back? I don't think they'd like that. And also, too, Dirty Book Day today, National Dirty Book Day. And
is that referencing books like porno mags or like books that are filthy?
I think it's dirty, like titties.
Oh, all right, gotcha.
I was looking at Honeyface's sister. She had her and her husband went to the comic book store and bought some comics, and they bought a Catwoman comic, and Catwoman was just very promiscuous, if you shall.
All right.
Just, I mean, her legs are spread. She's doing sexy poses.
I think that's part of her shtick.
Dog, I don't know. It was not a kid's comic book.
Well, so how modern is it?
It looked kind of modern.
All right, so maybe they've made her sluttier.
Did they make Catwoman like real slutty?
I think she used to always have a little bit of an air of constant flirting or leading on.
Flirting's different than what I saw.
I mean, stuff now. Maybe they've stepped it up.
Well, she was bent over.
Huh.
She's got one lady's leg spread.
Huh. See, I don't know if that was in the older.
Yeah, I don't think anyone knew that it was that dirty. I know you're the comic book guy.
Maybe newer. So, I mean, I'm like the 1990s comic book guy. I haven't really read anything in the last 10 years of comics.
I think they got it not realizing it was so salacious. And then when you open it up, you're like, holy titties.
Huh. Yeah, I know that there used to be comics that had titties in them, but it wasn't like your Marvels and such. Like they would be more of that kind of like looked like that movie Heavy Metal. They'd have those style of comics.
So Nate's saying, are you just discovering this about comics? I got to be honest with y'all. I was never a comic book dork. I was always an action figure dork. I always liked the toys. I never got into I never read the comics. And I know they're massively popular, and I get why people like them. I like to get them now and put them in frames if they look cool, if it's a genre I like.
See, I followed artists. I liked Todd McFarlane. I liked Eric Larson. And I liked Sam Keith. Those would be my three. And so whatever they went, Todd McFarlane started with Marvel, did Spider-Man, and then he jumped to a new company called Image, and then he did Spawn. So I followed the artist more so than I'm not like some people are like Marvel for life or DC for life or Dark Horse for life. I'll roll with whatever artist I like.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, they had that one cartoon. It looked like a comic book. It was always on HBO. It's called Heavy Metal.
Yeah, those are the ones you would see titties in.
They would have full-on sex going on in that thing. I was a kid. My eyes just popping out of my skull.
You're like, blah, 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 blah.
Cartoon boobs?
Aruga.
Yeah, so it's a National Dirty Book Day.
All right, so how do you celebrate that?
I think, just get a dirty book and
I feel like
toss off. I don't know.
Well, just like all magazines, I'm sure the porno mag industry has to have definitely taken a tank, right? Like a decline.
But who's looking at magazines?
Well, and I feel like the time it goes to print, like I mean, I don't know.
That's old man porn right there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So how booming could that be right now? It has to be all online, right?
I'm sure there's some vintage person out there like, I like it when I like the still shots.
They like blow the dust off the cover and they're like, this is how I like to, I guess.
It's also National German Chocolate Cake Day, and that's an underrated cake that I always forget to order.
German chocolate cake, right? Like it's super dense, thick chocolate cake.
It's got that goop kind of on it.
I believe that cake's named after the guy's last name, not that it's actually German.
Oh, his last name was Chocolate Cake Day?
I think it was German.
Oh, got you.
Isn't that weird? I don't think it's actually has anything to do. I don't know that. Don't quote me on that.
Chat room, yay or nay on German chocolate cake? It seems like an old person cake, but I mean, I'm old.
So I'd say Black Forest cake, very good.
Do go on, Dennys.
It's usually got like a cherry in the middle too, like cherry Black Forest cake.
Oh, you want to get real? Oh yeah, real naughty.
Oh yeah. I think they usually top it with some sort of mousse.
Oh, keep going.
Mousse is good. I feel like I never even hear anyone talk about mousse, and it's still like one of the most fire desserts.
I don't know. I'm not a big mousse guy.
It's so good. It's so light and airy.
It's not bad, but it's not I'm not seeking out the mousse.
It's almost I find it like a slightly better whipped cream. Whipped cream kind of disgusts me.
You're a man that spells moose Moose because you can't spell moose without ooh. And also National Making Life Beautiful Day.
All right.
How do you make life beautiful, Dennys?
I mean, you could be nice to people.
No. How do you make life?
How would I personally make life?
It's a personal question.
How would I make life beautiful?
Or how do you make life beautiful?
So I would surround myself with things that I like. I would be nice to the people that are in my close circle. I feel like that makes life beautiful. It makes it easier on them. Myself.
Animals. I think nature stuff is what I would say makes life beautiful.
That's what makes life beautiful for you?
Dude, there's some beautiful places on this rock, man. I mean, there's places
yeah.
that you'll never go to. Isn't that crazy?
Like grottos are cool.
Yeah, well, just even the fact that we still are discovering shit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Amazon-type jungles in certain parts of the world we didn't even know existed. That blows my mind. And we act like we know everything.
And all the different biomes. You've got coastal regions, you got tundras, you got volcanoes, you've got salt flats. You ever seen a salt flat or a black forest? Like, they're so random.
I've only seen a chicken flat, baby.
I don't know. The flats are all right. I prefer probably the wing.
Well, you got a lot of factoids you're kind of spitting. I think it might be time for some Dennys Random Facts. Our sweet Dennys does a great job hunting, just searching, gathering all these great factoids. Many of them will never leave my brain.
Oh, good.
Come on, Bicycle Face. You know I love that one.
Retain.
Vickie's not here tonight. She's at the Evanescence concert. Beckett's not here with us either. So when it's just me and Dennys, it's called the Friends Forever podcast.
Yeah. It's a lot less pressure.
Dennys is going to read off the factoids. And you know what, chat room? Why don't you grade him today? Let us know if it's a great fact, give him an A. If you don't like it, fail his ass. If it's mid, give him a C. Dennys, the floor is yours.
All right. So what do you think's the closest state in America to Africa? We were just talking about the map and the globe and
would it be
beautiful places. You think, like, technically you would think maybe like Singer Island right here in our own backyard.
Yeah.
That's about 4,085 miles from the West Saharan, and it is not the closest. But then you think, well, maybe because the earth juts out, or the country juts out a little bit towards the Carolinas, maybe North Carolina, which is a little bit closer. It's 3,600 miles. But then you think, well, it does kind of curve. What about Massachusetts?
Yeah, like the New York area,
yeah,
northeastern.
3,300 miles. The closest place to Africa is actually Maine. If you look on a map, which I have right here, the distance is 3,153 miles.
You're right, because we do kind of go in.
It's weird, but just natural thought, you would think it would be Florida or maybe even like that little hump that's going on there at the Carolinas. But nah, Maine. Maine's the closest. And then right across from that, you got Nova Scotia. It's like crazy how close all that stuff is.
Was Pangea the last form of Earth that then it turned into this? Is that the last one?
So, yeah, I think they think, and I think they think the continents were all connected in one mass. What they think was the planet got hit with a giant asteroid and it kind of embedded in there. And they think a meteor or an asteroid hit the planet at some point, and that's where water came from one of those and such. And they think gold also came from a meteorite.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then I think as it kind of expanded from that, it kind of after the hit, and then you have the impact, and then it kind of evened out, that it slowly spread. And then I think when they thought that the dinosaurs got wiped out, it kind of separated all the regions and stuff.
What was before Pangea?
So I think it was just water. So there was I did a random fact a while back. It was sharks are older than trees. So sharks have been on this planet longer than trees have.
That's such a mind-blowing fact.
It's super mind-blowing. But the reason being was that for a long time the planet was just water, more or less. Just, so
yeah.
You had plants. You still had plant life. It was just all underwater. It was seaweed, kelp, things of that nature.
Mermaids?
Possibly. You wonder. Well, so mermaids, the tail, comes from sailors going across and then they get sick from drinking salt water.
Yeah, they always said
dehydrated.
it was down for exhaustion, or they drank salt water, and they would see a manatee or a big fish, and they'd say, "Oh, it was a mermaid, and she was lovely, she was beautiful."
In Greek mythology and such, they would refer to them as sirens because they would be women, half fish, half woman, and they would sing, and then the singing would lull you into some sort of. So you wonder if that was just how they explained dehydration, and then maybe explained why sailors would jump off of ships and stuff to their death. And it was because they were like, oh, they're being lured by the sirens, right? But technically, it was probably because they were going mad.
Or mermaids are real.
Exactly. Well, the one thing you can't say about mermaids is they've been talking about them for a long-ass time.
They really have. And I know that people go, come on, Bird, mermaids. And it is hard for me to believe in mermaids. But I wasn't around back then.
Yeah, you're right.
I wonder, it was all water.
Well, and if it's cryptozoology, if it's a creature that existed and maybe went extinct, we never really got it. It could have easily been a hybrid. You know, they also have harpies, which are basically women that are part bird, and they would, lure men with their beauty, and then they would eat them, peck them to death or whatever.
Again, folklore.
Exactly, old Greek folklore. But again, so is there anything to that as well, where they're possibly,
Dennys, I thought it was a fantastic factoid. It sparked some conversation. I give you an A. What's the gang saying? No one's given a grade.
Everyone's like, that fact sucked. I just thought it was crazy that Maine is the darn closest to Africa.
Any fact that gets you talking, I'm a big fan of it. All right, what else you got?
So we're always talking, I guess, just things you can do after you pass, how to pass along yourself to your loved ones or future people in your family. And there's a company that will take your ashes and compress them into a diamond and then make it into jewelry for your loved ones to wear after your death.
Okay.
So what do you think about that? I know if you could take your ashes and put it into a pod to become a tree.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So I mean, it's another thing you can do in death.
Yeah, that is a. I was talking to somebody about having someone. They had two parents. One wanted to be buried. The other one wanted to be cremated. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about how going to the graveyard almost feels like an event where they're going to see their parent. Mm-hmm. And then the cremation, which they have at the house, is almost it's not as special for some reason to them.
Yeah.
They like getting dressed up and going to park the car, bring flowers, make it kind of like a tradition. And they said there's a different mind frame on both kind of perspectives when you are visiting the unliving.
Yeah, well, we even talked about it kind of earlier. We were talking about is it always good to have such an on-demand culture? The fact that if we want something, it doesn't even matter what it is. You'll go on Amazon, and in weird cases, you could sometimes even get something shipped to you the very same day.
I know. And we were talking about how everyone loves it. It's on demand. It's so convenient. But we also are talking about sometimes waiting for something does make it more special.
The anticipation.
There's something magical about that. Now, I don't know if that's just my old school brain thinking that, because that's how I was born into this world, and patience and waiting for stuff, and that anticipation was just part of my life, part of your life. So that's how we're wired now. But I do, when I get something on demand, there's without a doubt a specialness lost.
Yeah.
Waiting for something and really, to your point, that anticipation, it makes your imagination grow.
It does. It makes you appreciate the item more when you get it too, because so it wasn't until recently that you could order anything and get it within, the time frame we get it now. It used to take, if we ordered, last resort was ordering something online because you knew it would take a month or two.
Yeah.
Deliveries used to be very slow.
Well, just even if you misplace your remote control for 3 minutes, you're like, what the fuck? Where's my remote control? This shit's... we're just so programmed. I want it now. We're like Veruca Salt from Willy Wonka.
Yeah, we are.
I want it now.
I want a bean fest.
I want a bean fest. What the fuck's a bean fest?
I think we looked it up.
We did look it up.
It's a jelly bean party. It's British slang for a jelly bean party.
I had a crush on Veruca when I was a child.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, something about her bratty. I don't know. It was something. I don't want to get into that.
Violet, you're turning Violet.
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite movies. Someone did mention we were talking about mermaids. Splash. I do recommend that movie, weirdos. If you have not seen the movie Splash and you want just a fun-loving movie without too much heaviness, rent Splash or watch Splash. Tom Hanks, Daryl Hannah. Mm-hmm. It was a Pennington favorite in our household. Legit good movie, too.
For sure. There was a lot of charm to that era of movie. They almost just put goofy guy in mystical situation. Like you have Mannequin is another example of just like goofy guy, mystical situation.
Mannequin, as much as I like Mannequin's a shit movie.
That movie's whack. What about Mannequin 2?
I like a lot of shitty content, so Mannequin 2 is even... How that got greenlit?
Who fucking greenlit that?
How does Mannequin 2 get greenlit, y'all?
That's like Taken 2 and Taken 3. It's like, who the fuck greenlit that?
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, there was a movie back in the 80s called Mannequin, and the mannequin came to life, and there's a romance between the guy who works at the store and the mannequin. And that movie was a stretch, but it was always on, and as a kid, you liked it.
Yeah.
Then they came out with Mannequin 2. So many unanswered questions from Mannequin 1.
They didn't even expand the lore.
No, it was just...
I don't even know if it's canon.
It was shit. I don't know about you, but I do want a Bean Fest. Or a Bean Feast, I should say.
Bean Feast. Bean Fest would be like a rave party.
Bean Fist. Bean Fist. Bean Fist. I can't say it. Say Bean.
Bean Fest?
5 times fast.
Should I say Bean Feast or
Bean
Bean
Feast,
Fest?
whatever.
Bean Feast?
Yeah, 5 times fast.
Bean Feast, Bean Feast, Bean Feast, Bean Feast, Bean Feast, Bean Feast, Bean Feast.
Well, aren't you just Mr. fucking
Sorry, I had to close
Einstein?
my eyes.
Mr. Cotillion.
I had to close my eyes. Well, if you want to turn your ashes into a diamond, it's $14,000.
I give it an A.
That's gonna be one that goes on the credit card.
I'm an easier teacher. Denny's talking about all this stuff. Death, burial, diamonds. I give him an A.
What do you think about this? For the first season of Sesame Street, Oscar the Grouch was orange.
Damn, look at that factoid.
Yep, the entire first season. He was orange due to the fact that a lot of TVs weren't colorized at the time, so they didn't think it really mattered, and it looked better when it was on black and white to make it look kind of more like a dirty green. But then when they added color, they go, bro, he looks whack, and they turned him green.
And is that so? Denny's pulled up the picture. Is that the guy? Obviously.
Yeah, the puppeteer
Yeah.
of the time.
Wow.
Yeah, that's season 1, Oscar the Grouch right there. I found that picture online.
Sesame Street's kind of damaged when you really think about it. You got Oscar the Grouch living in a trash can, all pissed off at people. You got Snuffy down the street,
Just
all
depressing.
depressed and shit.
Yeah.
Big Bird high on life. Okay, what's he snorting?
You got Bert and Ernie. And then you've got
Mr.
Grover.
You got Grover, who's honestly one of the more normal ones.
Yeah, the Count.
He has got some hashtag Me Too's. Look into the Count's background. And then you've got Mr. Hooper or Cooper. Cooper or Hooper?
I remember the TV show Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
I
I used to watch that all the time.
Was that part of TGIF?
I think it was TGIF. I used to watch that, and I'd watch, what was it, Mr. Hightower. It was the Steve Harvey show. That was always, let's see. And then also, since we're on the topic of just weird colors, we're seeing Oscar the Grouch, originally orange. Stop signs from 1924 to 1954, which is when they were used, they used to be yellow. They weren't red. They didn't have red dye at that time that was strong enough to withstand the elements.
Is anybody alive that remembers yellow stop signs?
Yeah, there's a bunch of photos I found online just to confirm that fact was true. I didn't grab any, but yeah, they were yellow. All those type of signs were all yellow. It wasn't until the 60s they developed a red dye that was strong enough to withstand the sunlight. But any sign that was like some sort of state highway official sign of some sort was always yellow. But yeah, they now cover them in a fade-resistant enamel. They can paint them any color they want. And then just while we're on the topic of weird colors, polar bears. I think I've done this before, but polar bears aren't actually white at all. Their fur is actually clear. It's translucent.
Like Predator?
Like Predator. In fact, it's designed like that to reflect light. It's because there's no shade to hide under in Antarctica. You're just constantly getting pelted by the sun.
And we all remember the big little rhyme: if it's brown, lay down; if it's black, fight back; if it's white, good night.
Oh, so funny enough, to piggyback into a later fact I have, which I'll wait. Well, I'll wait till we make the transition official. But yeah, polar bears will kill you. They will, if they see you, they barely ever get food. You have a pretty low chance of survival.
That's always my question when it comes to the main predators of the land. You know, you talk about the polar bear. If you're just chilling and you happen to run into a polar bear as you're walking, is that pretty much a 90% ratio that you're going to be lunch or dinner?
Yeah, I just saw an article. There's a polar bear they've been tracking for, I don't know, 10 or 12 years. And every year it gets skinnier because it has a harder time finding food.
Damn.
So if you come across a polar bear, most likely you're going to die unless you have something to defend yourself.
Yeah, I think when it comes to animals and being all starving, they turn into legit animals, and they are not hashtag be cool.
I feel like every section of the earth has one of those animals designed to just stop anything.
To run game.
I mean, you got tigers and lions in the safaris. If you're out there, it's pretty low.
So, okay, for example, if I'm chilling and I'm in tiger world and I am just chilling, walking, and there's a tiger right there, is there a chance I scare it off, or is it pretty much guaranteed you are fucked, bird?
So tigers and lions are weird because I think the females do the hunting. So if you run across some females, I'd say probably you're gonna get killed.
Really? That's a pretty much automatic death if you run into a female
I think
tiger.
if they're out, they're hunting. That's what they're out hunting.
Damn.
So yeah, the huntress. So
yeah, there's that one video of the woman. She's in a car. She gets out real quick. She's either checking on something on their car, and out of the blue, the side of the screen. It's an older video, so it's real. A tiger comes out and just mauls, it drags her off of the screen.
So I think tigers are a little bit different. I think they will straight up. I think they're pretty much like lights out.
It was a tiger or some kind of big cat type of thing.
They go out and hunt. So
they. I mean, it happened so quick. The woman got out of the car. The thing just comes out of the screen, mauls her, grabs her, and brings her out. And it was under 5 seconds.
So all the big cats are hyper carnivores. They eat. They just want to eat you. So there was a TikToker not even that long ago. I think she pulled over on the side of the road because there was a cheetah, and she went to go take a selfie with it, and I think it ate her face.
Oh, yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah, so I mean, I think they'll kill you.
The one thing I've learned, cheetahs do not like selfies.
It's like, bro, I wasn't ready for that. But yeah, so those, I think there's certain ones, but like if you go in the ocean, I mean, great white sharks are just designed to just eat everything.
You cannot go into the ocean and overthink shit.
If I'm floating in the ocean and I think too long, I have to get out.
And I'm talking about just old man wading in the water.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not talking about swimming. Of course, you have to think if you're in a situation. But if you're just chilling with your legs in the water, it can really mess with your mind.
I start thinking about sharks nipping at my feet.
Hell yeah. Well, you're lucky sometimes if you just step on a jellyfish.
It's weird. I used to go surfing. I used to wakeboard. I did all sorts of water sports. I've almost developed a fear of the ocean as time's gone on. I rarely will. I won't even actually go in it these days.
Yeah, one of my biggest fears. I used to watch that show, Barely Alive or Almost Alive, or it's one of those ones where they should be dead.
I think there's one called I Should Be Dead.
I think maybe that's what it is.
I shouldn't have survived or something.
Yeah, I should not. Yeah, exactly. I should not be breathing, or one of those kind of shows. And there was one where the boat capsized. Everyone's basically dead except for the one person, and they just have this one little raft thingy. It wasn't even a real raft. They made it into a raft, and they're just in the middle of the ocean, can't see the shoreline. They have no idea where they're at, and their feet are in the water. Holy shit. I mean, anything that even comes close to you, you're thinking it's a shark trying to kill you.
So, I mean, the movie Jaws, where the guy, Robert Shaw, does that long, he's like, it was the night of and he tells that story.
Yes.
It was the USS Arizona, I think, sank, and I think he said there was 100 soldiers floating on those inner tubes, and then that one night, one by one, they were getting picked off by sharks, and they had to sleep through that whole night. So the person next to you gets eaten.
Oh yeah.
And you're just floating.
That's what there was one of those on the same show, but a different episode where one of the girls in the water was hearing a shark eat her friend. You're like, oh God.
My God.
That's one of those shows where I have to be in the right mood. If not, I gotta shut that shit off because I start to like. I can't breathe watching it. I picture myself out in the ocean.
Dude, we went on one of those airboats through the Everglades as like a school thing. You ever do that?
It's badass.
It was badass.
Movies a lot.
It was super badass. At one point, the guy operating the boat jumped off the side to grab sawgrass so we could taste it. We were like, no, it's not that important. He jumped into the water, swam, grabbed it, and swam and jumped back in the boat.
Oh, nature people are gonna nature. They are.
I was like, dude, we're surrounded by alligators. You just jumped into this water.
When me and Bigfoot, my boy Bigfoot, my kidney brother, when we went out to the Peace River, we didn't realize we were not even by the water. We were in a mud hole area where people were just. So I'm like, it's kind of loud over here. I thought it would be a little bit more peaceful.
Water's disgusting.
Peace River. And all these motorcycles and ATVs are going through, but there were still gators in this mud hole. And all these the locals, these kids are in there. And they could give a shit about these gators. And the gators didn't care about the kids.
So they got their own system.
They had their own, they knew the gators or something. It was very bizarre.
That's why I'm so afraid of that.
Nature people are going to nature.
Oh man, we were on a boat once and I saw a water moccasin just swimming on the top in the canal. He was C-23.
Yeah, it's, my dad was fishing at C-18 out there off PGA West back when I was a kid, and he said he was walking and almost stepped right on a moccasin, kind of darted out of the way. And then he said the moccasin trailed him.
It will. So on the boat, it came up and it was like kind of, and then it took off. I go, dude, that thing would have totally climbed in here if it could have.
Yeah, that. The moccasins scare the shit out of me.
Oh,
Only
they're
because I
terrifying.
was taught to fear them.
Well, they're pretty scary.
So if they bite you, it's the poison.
Yeah, that one's got poison.
That's not good.
No, those ones are not good. The coral snakes are not good, and we have no more coral snake anti-venom.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it expired. We're done.
Well, that's not
Nobody's
good.
making it.
Yeah, to go back to Jaws, that's an iconic movie, obviously. That one scene you're talking about where that actor does that big monologue, I guess he had a drinking problem.
People hated him.
They did not like him as a person. He was tough to kind of deal with. And I guess he got so drunk and he went to go do that monologue, and they could not film it. And he actually felt bad about it and went to the director and said, hey, I promise I'm going to do it right this time. And he went in there, and they said he nailed it out of the park.
That's
one
awesome.
take.
I mean, that's a good take.
The take you see is the one take he did, the mulligan, the one he goes, all right, I fucked up. I got drunk. I shouldn't have done that. He went in there and willed it to happen. So you see that one take, and that's legit his one take Jake, really.
What's your impression of Richard Dreyfuss seeing him not do a good job on that?
No, you can't drink, no.
I think Robert Shaw is also the bad guy or the antagonist in the Sting with Robert Redford and Paul Newman.
Yeah, that was back in the day where you could punch directors and you throw coffee at people.
Yeah,
I mean, talk about some. Yeah, Hollywood had to clean up their shit.
Yeah.
They had to clean up their act.
Yeah. You could say. I mean, I think it was Wild West at first. I mean, old Hollywood or even pre-Code was like psychotic.
Well, you hear some of the stories of old Hollywood, and you go, "Well, he was suspected of murder, and he was still allowed to act." Oh,
yeah, it's
a bit weird. Okay, it was a different time.
Oh my
man.
gosh, yes.
All they cared about was the art, Dennys, and not the person
and the money.
Yep.
We got to make pictures.
Are you done with the factoids?
I could do that carnivore one. So tagging on, we were talking about different animals. We were talking about if you ran into a polar bear. Well, snakes are true carnivores. They eat nothing but animals. Meaning, so if you are a hypocarnivore, you eat 30% animals for your diet. That is like bears. Bears are an example of a hypocarnivore. They eat 30% meat, but they also eat berries, nuts, and leaves, right? Except for polar bears are hypercarnivores. They eat 70% or more meat. They're the only bear that is a hypercarnivore compared to a hypocarnivore, meaning they don't eat berries and nuts at all.
Huh.
So it's weird. They're in the same species. And then you got mesocarnivores, which are skunks, foxes, raccoons, weasels. 50% of their diet is meat. What's crazy is big cats are hypercarnivores and also regular cats, like household cats. So if you ever wondered why your cat, when they feel nauseous or sick, they eat leaves or they eat grass, it's because their body has no way of processing that. It doesn't even attempt to digest it, and it pushes everything out of their system. They only use that as a reset button.
Yeah,
that's why they do that.
I heard too, because Chewy sometimes would get stomach aches, and I always knew his tummy was hurting. Rest in peace, Chewy.
Yeah.
He would eat grass, and I always, even when I was a kid, they go, if a dog's eating grass, it means they have a hurt tummy.
There's certain animals that will only do that because they know their system isn't even designed to digest that. In fact, they get no energy from eating plants at all. It's the equivalent of us eating charcoal. You know what I'm saying? Your body will it has no way of digesting it. It just passes through. Animals in that category are crocodiles, sharks, and weirdly, almost all amphibians start off as vegetarian tadpoles, and then once they become frogs or the later stage of their amphibianism, they become 100% meat eaters. They only eat meat. They're one of the weird creatures that starts off vegetarian and becomes 100% meat eater.
Nature's so odd, dog.
It is so odd. They start off eating just plant life, and then they no longer have the ability to digest plant life after they're an infant.
It's an excellent factoid, Denny.
It's just weird.
If it's up to me, you make the honor roll. That's straight A's for me,
And
dog.
the last one that's weird, salmons. They're meat eaters. They only eat meat.
Huh.
I know, right? Salmons eat meat.
Meat.
It's weird. They
Like beefaroni.
They eat other fish. They just eat fish. Beefaroni probably would disgust them.
Beefaroni, I can't believe that's still made. Anybody?
Is it?
Yeah, beefaroni.
Beefaroni,
It's
hamburger
still-
helper.
All that shit's still around. Hamburger helper now. I can fuck around with some hamburger helper. I like hamburger helper at times. Although if I tried it now, I haven't had hamburger helper in a minute. I bet you it would make me just feel repulsed.
Well, if you used good hamburger, I'm sure it wouldn't be repulsive.
Okay.
Because it just helps the hamburger. You know what I'm saying? Like the other stuff.
Ooh, I gotta get the hand. I don't have the hand. That's an iconic.
The glove, that'd be
yeah,
awesome.
They have to make that.
Is his name Handy?
I think it is handy.
I think it is Handy.
Yeah.
So I was just throwing that carnivore one in there.
Great
We were
great
talking about polar
job,
bears.
sweet Denny's. I think we went an hour with not much.
Holy hell, yeah.
Yeah, that was quick, man. I had a good time. That was a lot of fun, and I want to thank the weirdos out there listening with us on this lovely Thursday night. Sorry the whole gang wasn't here. We'll be back next week, and if we do have a situation where not everyone can make it, me and Dennys are going to at least try to always, bring you, hey, look, it's free.
Yeah, we jumped in and we ran, grabbed some Kalujas, came back and jumped onto a podcast.
Yeah, I'll be talking about Kalujas tomorrow. I got some free ones, and I'm going to try planting them myself. And Dennys, I'm a little nervous because I've never planted big trees like this before.
Well, so if anyone has any tips, they could send them. We could read them, or I could print them out for you tomorrow on the show. Mail at KVJShow.com.
Or let me know how much planting Kalujas are. I don't know.
I think they're pretty easy. You just dig a hole. We throw some compost in there.
All right.
Some soil that's got some nitrates.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dennys, for the pep talk. I appreciate it.
I would save a bunch of money. Do you want to end with a song here?
What do we got in there?
Do you want to end with one of the ones that was in the KVJ horror movie? We have the Something in the Atmosphere. It's a nice creepy track. Just because this is kind of an unorthodox podcast for us.
Yeah,
we kind of did it as just an extra.
Yeah, this was I wrote this down for the movie Anniversary, and it was also in our last KVJ horror movie. And we were just at a bookstore earlier today.
Yeah,
bookstores are creepy. They've got those like an old timey bookstore reeks of ghost and paranormal. This song should be playing in the background.
It reminded me. It has the same vibe of this store.
Yes.
And also, you were talking Dirty Book Day. That's what I thought you meant by that, because we were at the bookstore, and there's so many dirty ass books in there. Cause
like dirty, like titties.
Like they're actually like legit dirty.
Oh yeah.
Like filthy.
Well, make sure you send your original songs, y'all. We want to support people who write their own music. This one's an original. This one's called Something in the Atmosphere. Thank you, weirdos, for joining us on this lovely night. We love you all, and Bigfoot is real.
Can't you tell that the end is near? You feel it in your bones, it's crystal clear. Baby, you're not crazy. There's something in the atmosphere. I see you smiling, but you're full of fear. You had your faith, but it disappeared. Baby, you're not crazy. There's something in the atmosphere. Your whole life you've been searching, but you don't know what you've been looking for. You keep grinding your gears. Oh baby, can't you better open